Namaskaram. In my previous video, I spoke about why it is important to focus on education, and also I gave a little bit of insight as to what our vision for education is. Today, I'm going to be speaking about some of the fundamental problems with education, and I intend this to be a series of videos where we talk about how we can revolutionize education. And first, it is important for us to analyze what the problem is, and then discuss the solution, and then discuss the implementational aspects of the solution. So in this particular in today, I'm going to talk about just the problems, and moving on, we'll talk about solutions later. So what are some of the fundamental problems with education today? The first problem, and this is going to be the mother of all the other problems, is the problem of misplaced purpose. If you look at the purpose of the entire enterprise of educational boards or institutions, schools, and the organization within the schools, the whole point of it is to generate useful units of society out of children. So we're basically taking children and then trying to create some productive inputs to the economic engine. And in a way, it's like we are taking these children and then we're raising them like farm animals to be consumed by the economy, basically. And when I say that, I don't intend to mean that the educators treat children like animals. Actually, I've seen a lot of places where educators are actually they treat children with respect and reverence, and they treat the profession of teaching with a lot of reverence. But if you look at the entire design of the educational infrastructure in the enterprise itself, the purpose is to take children and then produce something useful out of them. Much like how we would take animals and we would try to ensure that they pass certain factors, certain criteria before they're deemed fit for consumption. So it's kind of like that, and this is a huge problem. This is something that needs to change, and I will be discussing as to what needs to happen in the next video. So this is the mother of all the problems, which is the misplaced purpose. The second fundamental problem is that of imbalance. If you look at how we are processing these children in education, we are basically ensuring that we are nurturing all the qualities in them that are useful in the economic engine. So certain things get prioritized and certain other things get neglected when it comes to the aspects of human intelligence that we're nurturing. And the consequence is that there's a large scale rise in the number of people with a lot of mental imbalance. They have a lot of competence in one area of life, but then the other areas of life are completely neglected. For example, somebody may be really good at computers or the technical aspects of things, which could be useful in their employment, but when it comes to real life skills like social engagement or creative self-expression, they fall short, and this has an impact on their quality of life. So this mental imbalance that is nurtured by the lopsided approach to education is something that has like an epidemic impact on society, because we now have a large scale number of individuals who are mentally imbalanced, and this is something that affects their quality of life and their mental health. And obviously in this country we know that students go through a lot of mental health issues, and they may even have suicidal tendencies. We have a lot of suicides because of educational pressures and how education happens. So these are things that can be avoided if we take a more balanced approach to nurturing human intelligence. And if you look at the kinds of things that we focus on, we only focus on the objective aspects of our intelligence, the objective, the logical side, the objective rationalism, and intellectual capabilities that are useful in the economy. These are the things that we focus on nurturing. And these are all like masculine qualities of intelligence. We are always promoting the masculine aspects of human intelligence and neglecting the feminine aspects, and also certain life skills, such as just like being able to handle your own emotions, or like being able to interact with others. These are things that are neglected, and so obviously we need to have a more balanced approach to education if we are to make the children, if we had to help the children grow to their fullest potential. So the third fundamental issue is that of we in education we focus on the content a lot more. We are trying to ensure that the children are able to process the content and remember it, retain it. So these are the things that we stress on, but we don't pay enough attention to the skills. Okay, so we neglect the skills aspect of what an individual is capable of. And if you look at how things are today, we're living in an age where retaining information in your head is not as relevant as it was several decades ago, or at least a few decades ago. And what is actually relevant is for us to be able to have skills that we can apply. And yet today we are in a situation where we are forcing the children to memorize information, retain it, and prove that they're able to retain the information. This is what is focused on in the schools and education institutions. And this is unfortunate, because now we are focusing on something that is irrelevant, and we are neglecting the aspects of life that are actually relevant, like skills like the ability to learn something that we do not know, the ability to communicate our ideas, the ability to visualize our application of something before we actually go and apply things, the ability to convince others of what we believe to be true. These are things that are essentially out in the real world, but they don't get enough attention in the way things are set up at the moment. The fourth fundamental issue is that a lot of the education infrastructure is designed around the prospect of acquiring certifications and assessments. These are things that are stressed on so much, and a lot of the kids who go into schools and colleges, they go in order to get the certification, the qualification, the stamp that this person is approved, qualified. And an undue amount of importance is given to these aspects, to the point where kids actually spend their time in these schools and colleges, spend many years in education, doing things that they're not interested in doing things that they really don't want to do, but they're forced to do that because their certification relies on their performance in these things. And they end up spending many years not being involved in what they're doing. And if we know anything about human psychology, we only get good at what we're involved with. If you make somebody do something that they're really not involved with, it ruins their appetite for that thing, and also it doesn't really bring any competence or spark in whatever they're doing. So this is really unfortunate, because now we have kids not only spending many years doing not something that they're not involved in, but those number of years are taken away from them, which they could have invested in doing something that they're actually invested in personally. And if you look at the efficiency of these certifications and qualifications in determining whether these people are competent in the actual world out there, it's not. We have many studies proving that that these qualifications, certifications are really not relevant in assessing their ability to function outside. And we even have studies that say that 80% of graduates are unemployable, at least in this country. And even if you ask even the successful people out there as to what contributed, what proportion of their college education or education contributed to their success, they'd say that it didn't matter as much as their personal experience and personal life experience mattered. So this is a huge problem. We have a certification-oriented system of education that has to go. The next problem is that we don't really give educators the level of freedom that they deserve. If you look at the entire structure of the education infrastructure, we have centralized bodies, governance bodies, and then education institutions, and then certain other things. We have organization within the education institutions, the way different people are organized within the institution. All of these are structured in a top-down fashion, where the power and information and directives are at the top, and it gets passed down to the bottom. And at the bottom, we have the educators at the ground level, who in a way are just puppets. They have to follow the instructions given from the top. And this is a very top-down way of doing things, very top-heavy. And the bottom is not something that actually can have an influence in the whole process or the outcome. So what ends up happening is educators don't have the freedom to exercise what they wish to do. And there's not enough room for flexibility or innovation. So this is a huge problem, because now, let's say there's an educator who is actually highly competent and wants to try out something new. They don't have the freedom to do that, and this is something that needs to be fixed, where we need to give the educators the level of autonomy and freedom that they deserve, so that they can actually go and try out new things and do something that's actually relevant, because they are the people in the ground and they are the ones who know what needs to be done, what needs to be worked on, and all these things. And having a very top-heavy structure means that there's not enough agility and flexibility for this whole structure to adapt to changing circumstances. So we need to bring a certain balance to the top and bottom, so that we have enough autonomy to we bring enough autonomy to the educators on the ground level, so where they can exercise their freedom. The next issue, I would say, is like a summary of all the other things that we've discussed so far, which is just that the whole enterprise is outdated. It's rooted in an era which is bygone, where priorities were different, and the whole concept of education as it is today was conceived in a time that was very different from now. And all that has happened since then is just that we've refined the engine to meet that purpose that was set in a very, very old era that is no longer relevant. So what we have a very outdated education system that is not only is it not reflecting the purpose and needs of today, but it's also failing to utilize the changes, the shifts in technology and the era that has happened since then. So we have a very outdated educational structure that is begging for a fundamental revolution. And this is something that we need to address. We need to redefine education, and we need to ensure that we are utilizing all of the advantages that we have in this day and age to create something new. And so this is the list of problems that I think are important to address. But obviously, this is not a comprehensive list, nor is it, not have I arranged these issues in the order of priority. These are some of the issues that came to me. But I would love to know if there is something else that I missed, that you think I missed, because at the end of the day, this is something that is an inclusive process. The process of identifying problems and solving them. These have to be an inclusive process where everybody is allowed to say what they feel needs to be addressed. So I invite you to share your thoughts on what are some of the problems that you think need to be addressed. You can post some comments down below, and I'll definitely read and respond to it. And in the further videos when I would discuss solutions, I may be able to incorporate some of the things that you shared with me. So this is it for this video, and in the next upcoming videos I'll be discussing solutions of to address some of these problems, and also following that we'll have discussions on what we as an organization will be doing to address these problems. Thanks for watching, and if you would like to subscribe, if you'd like to support our channel, please do subscribe and share our videos to people who may be interested. And you can also follow us on Twitter and Medium. Thanks for watching.